It is electric inside Scott Trade Center. Why wouldn't it be an opening night? John Kelly, Darren Pang, and Bernie Federko on hand tonight as the Blues open their 47th season against the Predators.
Really looking forward to the season. Outside before the game was outstanding. The building here electric. The only thing that would replace this is being in the uniform and being on the ice for something like this.
But it might get louder, as Tom Calhoun will explain, folks. Brett Hull!
Take your pictures down and check it out. Truth or consequence, say it aloud. Use that evidence, makes it all.
Now will Blues captain David Backes and Nashville captain Shea Weber please skate to center ice for tonight's ceremonial puck drop.
The Golden Thread is back. And that electric smile. Great to have number 16 back in the house. All right, time to check tonight's Dobbs starting goaltenders. And Jarl Halak, last year on opening night, he blanked Detroit 6-0, stopping all 14 shots. His first appearance in a Blues uniform since April 1st. And Pekka Rinne always plays well against the Blues. Had off-season hip surgery and is hoping for a bounce-back season.
You really have to work hard against Pekka Rinne. If there's pucks lying around, you have to outbattle the D. You have to outbattle Pekka Rinne. I've been really impressed with Yaroslav Halak's training camp. He's a fast starter. He's come out of the gates in openers 8-3-3 with a minuscule 1.74 goals against average.
61-year-old Ken Hitchcock with 605 wins. That is second most among active coaches. Berglund, Tarasenko, and Schwartz with Jackman and Pollock on defense. Blues hockey brought to you by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. And a face-off 5 seconds in. For the Predators, they begin with a line of Nick Spaulding, Mike Fisher, and Eric Nystrom. For the veteran coach, the longest tenured coach, Barry Trotz.
Oh, he's one of the great coaches in this game, and they made one change, adding Phil Housley, the all-time leading point getter on the blue line, to the coaching staff. So expect Nashville's defense to be involved in the play at all times.
Another former Blue who coached the World Junior Championship a year ago for Team USA, the gold medal. And more on that as we go along here. Blues won 3 of 4 last year against Nashville. This is Fisher. Worked over by Berglund. And it's scored free to Schwartz, who led the Blues in preseason with 3 goals. And Tarasenko lobs it in. And both clubs make changes. Here's Roman Josi. Tipped along by Clune. That bounces to the corner. Comes in front. Halak will knock it away. And now the Blues take over. It's Steen to center for Bouwmeester. Played around the end boards. Comes to Backes. And a shot and a glove save by Rinne. And we get a stoppage after a big hit in the corner.
Big case. Matt Hendricks, the former Washington Capital, he goes down in the corner. Alex Steen had been dumped just earlier than that. And Pekka Rinne makes a good save through traffic. High-octane pace. Steen takes a hit to make a play, then he goes the other way. And with Gaustad on him, he's able to get to the right corner here, and then he just gets hammered right there with a good clean hit. Our Plaza Tire Service replay shows that hit right there from the young defenseman Victor Bartley, the 25-year-old.
And the Preds have a young defense. Shea Weber is the oldest at 28. No penalties handed out on that last exchange. Now it is Max Lapierre, signed As a free agent, played last year in Vancouver on with Sabotka and Reeves. And a drive by Sabotka goes high and into the glove again of Rinne. And again, we get some extracurricular activity between these longtime rivals.
And no surprise here that Max Lapierre, our Blues fans will recognize that name as a feisty centerman for the Vancouver Canucks, one of the more hated rivals that the Blues have. And there's Lapierre immediately in the blue paint in front of Pekka Rinne, talking, chirping, trying to stir things up. But this is one heck of a fourth line with Sabotka on the left and Ryan Reeves on the right.
Lapierre, a former teammate of Halak the year they went to the third round, upsetting Pittsburgh and Washington. And of course, he almost won the Cup in Vancouver a couple of years ago. As the Predators shoot it down the ice, and they do signal icing here. 1:18 into the first period. Not dressed tonight for the Blues. Ian Cole, Magnus Paajarvi, and Adam Cracknell.
And Max Lapierre talking all the way down the ice to Matt Hendricks. Just talking, getting in his ear. And Bernie, you've seen players like that. And that's something that Lapierre does as well as anybody.
This is what is all about when you're in a divisional rival. And you know what? We've got these new alignment now, but, you know, the Predators and the Blues do not like each other, and it's pretty obvious by watching this first, minute and a half. It's great. Love it.
Now the Predators tip it in. It's Rick Clune. He was picked up on waivers last year from Los Angeles. Comes around for Reeves as Bartley pinches in. Ends up back on the goal. Here's Cullen, wraparound try, and a save by Halak. And then Bartley lets it go. And again, a stick save by the Blues goaltender. And then Leopold and Lapierre back on the goal. Shattenkirk picks up the loose change.
Going to be a tripping call on Matt Cullen behind the net. Blues are going to go on the power play.
And now Reeves to center ice. Halak can't get off. The Predators touch it, and the first minor of the night goes against Nashville.
Matt Cullen was behind the net, and it was the second attempt as Kevin Shattenkirk sprung loose.
Nashville penalty number 7, 2 minutes for tripping.
Veteran referee Dave Jackson making the call. It was the second extension of the stick. It wasn't this one here, but you see, there it was, right there. Then the fall. So Matt Cullen coming in as a unrestricted free agent. Power play, St. Louis.
Last year, the Blues power play just under 20%. And a shot rebound. Gives the Blues a 1-0 lead.
A face-off won by Patrick Berglund. That starts everything. A nice clean win, and the puck goes back to Pietrangelo. Pietrangelo with the nifty little wrist shot, hits a body in front, and there's the captain, Big David Backes, with an easy empty netter wraparound play and a quick start for the big fella.
Last year, an opening night against Detroit, the Blues had 4 power play goals. They were 4 for 5 and off to a great start tonight.
And Tarasenko was on fire to begin the season last year.
So David Backes gives the Blues a 1-0 lead at 2:05. And a year ago, the Predators' penalty killers were second worst in the NHL. And off to a tough start. And a high shot by Steen. Went over the goal. And it's Steen again for the Blues. Pietrangelo one-timer. And that just missed through a screen. And fired out of the zone. And down into the Blues ice. And Pietrangelo now on to the captain, Backes. Pietrangelo and Berglund get the assist on the goal by David Backes. And this will be an icing call.
And the crowd here at Scottrade on their feet. Holy jumping, what a start this has been. Let's go back to the play. Keep your eye on David Backes. He's going to slide in front of the net after the face-off win. That's his job, get to the front. But Pietrangelo gets it through, hits a body, Yossi, and right there to Backes.
And a year ago, David Backes, an off year, goal-wise only 6. And there we all know he has been a slow starter in his career. Not tonight. And a shot by Shattenkirk got through, and a pad save by Rinne. And handled by Victor Bartley, who was signed as a free agent, a 25-year-old to center. Too far for Cullen in a foot race. Leopold gets there first, but there's no icing. And it's squirt 3 now for Stewart, who led the Blues last year with 18 goals. Shots are 4-0 St. Louis, and the power play goal by Backes. And number 57, Gabriel Bourque for Nashville. He'll fire it down the ice. Then handled by Jackman around for Tarasenko. Trying to send it ahead. That's picked up by Nick Spaulding. And then Tarasenko gets it back. Nice backhand feed by Berglund. Walked in by Schwartz. To the middle. Here's Schwartz again. And then Pollock steps up a high shot, and that was too high off the glass and back to center.
You can see that the emphasis on the defensemen moving their feet for the St. Louis Blues, getting up there, moving up there, and getting involved in the offense. A lot of the action has come from the point so far.
And they want that. That is important this year. The second wave of attack and a big hit. Nystrom and Pollock collide. Predators get it to the blue line. Roman Josi, a drive and a save. Rebound is shot wide by Gaustad. And then Berglund back in the Blues goal. That comes free. Gaustad, the former Sabre, for Shea Weber, who led the Predators in scoring last year. That shot rattles wide. Nice trim for Gaustad. Trying to cut to the front, and that's sticked away by Halak. And then Pollock back of the goal, can't work it along. Number 26, Matt Hendricks, the former Capital. He gets it back, and a shot, and that trickled wide.
Look at Gaustad right in the blue paint. He's a tough one to move in front.
Their best pressure of the night. Josi to the net, save. Halak can't cover, and it's knocked away by Schwartz.
What a battle in front of that net.
And Schwartz is knocked down, but he throws the puck to center ice. Blues making a quick change. Gaustad back into Clune. And that shot hit a leg, and it never got on goal, and swatted by Pollock off the glass in a race. It's Reeves and Weber. And we get the first instance of hybrid icing there as Weber goes back.
Yeah, Weber was there ahead of Reeves by the face-off dot. Good call by the linesman. Here's the scramble in front. Halak makes a couple of good saves. Gaustad's been a good player in this game so far for Nashville. But look at the support. 4 blue sweaters in the crease to protect the goaltender, Yaroslav Halak.
Halak has great numbers against Nashville, and Rainey, as we know, superb against the Blues. 13-8-4 in his career. But Jarl has never been in better shape. Spent every day of the summer in St. Louis. And his wife had a baby.
Yep, baby girl changes your life, changes your perspective. And of course, condition is everything too. You have to be in tip-top shape to compete at this level. Both the goaltenders of the Blues are.
As the Blues about to break free, he's in the clear. Samoka makes it 2-0.
Holy jumping, the little guy with gumption takes a great pass from Bouwmeester. And with that strength, fends off one and dinks the other. This crowd is going nuts. What a play here. Little shake and bake. Oh, little stutter step. Keeps it on the backhand here. Waits for the goalie to move. And then deposits it into the empty net.
That doesn't get any prettier than that, boys, right there. That strength and that wide wheelbase that he's got. Unreal.
Had a career-high 8 goals last year, but none in his final 17 games in the regular season.
He still did everything, though. Every bit of responsibility. Any line that was struggling, Sabotka was on that line. He had a great year last year.
And won the Panger Award at the end of the year.
Yes, he did. All-round MVP.
It's 2-0, the goal at 5:43. And Weber fires one to the corner. Bouwmeester and Pietrangelo get the assists. So Pietrangelo with 2 assists already. And a great start for the Blues. Work to center by Backes for Steen. And he delays it a bit, and that puts Oshie in on right wing. And we'll take a break. What a start. First Backes on the power play. And then the little guy with gumption, as Panger calls him, makes...
Those are the goal scorers to begin this game, not midway through the first period. David Backus is 133rd, and then Vladdy Sobotka. Woo, it's been a fast-paced game, but we get to our Toyota keys to the game. And the first one, setting the pace of the game, well, that has been complete. An attack to young Preds defensemen. The Blues know that Nashville, now it's no more Ryan Suter. Hal Gill is not there. It's a young group. Seth Jones is on the ice right now. The 4th overall draft pick, so you got to keep hounding them and pressuring them and force them to make some mistakes.
And Seth Jones turns 19 today. The 4th overall pick, the son of former NBAer Popeye Jones.
Yeah, happy birthday to Seth. He's going to be a great one.
Here is a shot by Spaulding. That hit the mask of Halak. And that was their best chance of the first period. I thought it hurted Max there, Panger.
Yeah, well, he's got the plastic throat protector, too. It might have grazed off that.
And now Hendricks gets it in front, and a shot by Nystrom right on. And Halak turns it away. Centering feed by Fisher, back on the line. And a long drive by the rookie Mattias Ekholm in his 4th NHL game. Tipped in front by Nystrom, and a shot by Fisher. Missed the goal. Now Fisher chased by Jackman. And then Jones fans on the shot. Here's Jones again. Trickles on goal. Left pad save Halak. And now Spaulding. Shots are now 5-5 in the game. There's the Predators. And Ekholm, he's got some offensive instincts. Backdoor feed to Fisher, just missed. And held in by Spaulding. One thing about this Nashville club, they will work hard. And Hitchcock said it's a great test on opening night because of their superb work ethic.
The work ethic is there. It always has been with a Barry Trotz coach team. And that's why playing with the lead is so important against a team like Nashville with a goalie like Pekka Rinne.
Now it comes free to Berglund. Had Schwartz in front, couldn't get it there. And Gabriel Bourque the other way for Nashville. On to the 36-year-old veteran Cullen. Played last year in Minnesota. Centering feed off a skate. Halak got the right pad down. And now on the attack is Craig Smith. But stepping into the corner to break it up, Berglund. And he maneuvers the puck to center ice for Schwartz. And he was slowed up. 11:20 left first period. Goals from Backus and Sobotka. The Blues lead 2-0. Both clubs making changes. Klein walks it on to center ice. Nice pass off the board for Gausted. Poked away by Bouwmeester. And then dribbled back in wide of Halak.
Good play there by Halak to move that away from Pietrangelo because he had a forechecker on him and play it right over there to Bouwmeester. It's been an area that both goaltenders of the Blues have worked real hard with goaltending coach Corey Hirsch.
And Roman Josi. Sends the puck deep to the end boards. Played by Backus. Intended for Pietrangelo. Hendricks steps in there. It is met there by Bouwmeester. And now Clune around to the far side. Comes back to Weber. And again, some sustained pressure by this Nashville team. And Pietrangelo right in front of the goal for Bouwmeester. And on to center ice. Oshie tips it into Backus. Odd man rush here. Backus to the front. Oshie backhanded. Oh, it's gone. Unbelievable. It's 3-0.
Tic-tac-toe. That's as pretty as it gets right there. For Barry Trotz, he just had the best shift of the game for Nashville, only to find David Backus beats Weber to the puck, plays it to Steen. Steen doesn't even look, and he plays it over there to TJ Oshie, who's got a tap in. Superlative chemistry by all three players, and this might have glanced off the right skate blade of the goaltender Pekka Rinne. He's had no chance on any of these goals, and the Blues have chased Rinne from the net. What a start this is.
You know, and I would agree with you, Panger. There's been no chance for Rinne. I think that the problem right now that Barry Trotz is having is, I think he's just trying to change the momentum of the game right now. The Predators had trouble last year. They were the lowest scoring team in the National Hockey League. They're having trouble. They've got good pressure, but it seems every time they make a mistake, the Blues have countered and scored. So great patience by the Blues, though, with the puck, though. All three goals really being patient on Pekka Rinne.
And a drive from Weber. And Carter Hutton takes over. And ironically enough, Hutton played last year in the Blackhawks organization. as he takes over for Rene, and he was the goalie in the 48th game for the Blackhawks, and they dressed the minor league lineup when the Blues won to secure home ice.
Yeah, tough spot for Carter Hutton, but for Pekka Rinne, these are the kind of starts that has happened around the NHL. The first night, opening night, the NHL averaged 8.7 goals for per game. It's going to happen, and when they come to you, you might as well score in bushels. I like the way the Blues are playing. They withstood a little bit of a surge right there. Both lines went back-to-back for Nashville and had good shifts, but the Blues were able to weather that and go the other way and score.
And the goal by Oshie from Steen and Backus at 9:45. Here comes Reeves in for the Blues. To Pietrangelo, poked away by Klein as he got the stick in there, and it's back to center ice. Blues have now been outshot 7-6, but lead 3-0. And Ekholm gets the puck to center ice for Nystrom, the son of Islander legend Bobby Nystrom. Now it comes free back of the goal in front. They score! And Fisher snaps it through the legs of Alak, and it's 3-1. It's Mike Fisher.
That's a good setup down low. And Bernie, we talk about the shallower nets. There's a little bit more room to make that play from behind the net, and that's where there's going to be a bit of an adjustment defensively. That was a really quick play right there. So you pull your goalie, you make your mark. That sends an incredible message. And the Blues now find themselves with a 3-1 lead off this quick play. Colin Wilson to Fisher. He makes no mistake.
Yeah, Peggy, you're right about the shallower nets. There's not the big curl. You can actually make the pass from right directly behind the net instead of having to take that extra step. But you can see really, Alak really never had a chance, but you can see that net not near as deep. And consequently, it makes it a lot more different for the goaltenders and a lot better for the guy that has to make the pass from behind the net. And I think we just saw it there.
Fisher had 10 goals and 21 points last year and then had shoulder surgery. And he makes it 3-1 the goal at 10:42. That was Nick Foley with that feed from behind the goal. Nystrom gets the other assist. Now the Blues intercepted. Schwartz almost cut the goaltender Hutton napping there. And now Shattenkirk steps up. He gets it free. That was poked away by Fisher, and it's back into the Blues zone. Well, Fisher gets that goal at 10:42. The Blues lead is 3-1. And Oshie with a big hit in the corner. Gets it in front. No one home for the Blues. Shattenkirk steps up now for Oshie. And a drive and a save by Hutton. By the way, former Blue Chris Mason, who was the backup a year ago, is now playing in Italy. And that's why they signed Carter Hutton.
Italy, huh, Bernie?
Yeah.
Enjoying a little bit of that red over there.
A lot of stuff to enjoy there.
And this goes out of play with 8:02 left in the first period. A wild start in the home opener. Oshie's goal made it 3-0. Fisher comes back, 3-1 Blues. Well, a lot of people, including the Hockey News, think the St. Louis Blues will be the Stanley Cup champions. I know a lot of folks, including the chairman of the Blues, principal owner Tom Stillman. He would love a parade down Market Street. How are you doing?
Good. How are you? Great start for a night.
Oh, great start indeed. How do you, as an owner of the team, like these expectations?
You know, they get you excited. They get you a little anxious with but in the end, I think it just kind of confirms what we think about this team. We think it's a serious contender and that our window is open to contend for several years. So it's not that different from what we think. So.
And I would think that's a big reason why you and your ownership group spend a lot of hard-earned cash this summer signing some key players and getting some key guys re-signed.
We did. I mean, we think we have to invest in the team if we're going to put on a winner, and we said we're going to put on a winner, and we meant it. So that's what we have to do.
Not only on the ice, but off the ice. Great commitment to get Brett Hull back here. The fans' appreciation, dropping the puck, and he's a showman. He knows how to get everything fired up. He's giving the guys fist pumps going down there.
Oh, it was
just
great.
Wonderful seeing Brett back home.
It was, you know, it was energy, but it was also just sort of homey. It was welcome home.
You know what?
We're glad you are back. Maybe you're not scoring goals for us anymore, but you're one of us and you're home. So it was touching.
Well, a great start, too. Anytime you open up the season, a lot of times here we see this little wraparound attempt and good play there by the goaltender Halak, but a lot of times you never know how the team's going to respond, waiting around, anxiety, what have you. But this start is exactly what we thought this team was all about. Maturity, getting themselves prepared. I'm sure it didn't surprise you.
It didn't, but you're right. You never know on an opener when all the festivities and a lot of waiting, and then Brett Hull comes out. And we don't have a good history when Brett Hull's on the ice. He comes back for an event. So it was good to see us start that way.
Well, we've talked an awful lot about this team and about the expectations. And when you look at what Ken Hitchcock has done and prepared, you come every day to training camp. You're there, you're watching. Did you feel like there was a crescendo starting training camp to the point they are right now?
There was a crescendo, but it also started with this sense of purpose, this sort of extra seriousness. And, it was kind of a crescendo in, sort of the energy. But if anything, that seriousness just kind of ratcheted down tighter and tighter and tighter. I mean, people really, there's this feeling that we got something going here, and we're gonna make the most of it.
Now, we should give a shout-out to former broadcaster that's now, your business partner and CEO of this team. And when you talk about Bruce Affleck and the job that he's done inside those offices and outside with the people here, St. Louis.
Bruce has just done a great job. He's, been with the organization for, starting 33 years ago. He's gone from player all the way to president of business operations. So it's a great story, and he's doing a great job. He knows he's got the respect of the community and the organization, and, he's just done a heck of a job.
And Tom, you said in your initial press conference back in May of 2012 that you wanted to get the team better, win a cup, but at the same time it was imperative you got the business in order. Is it heading that way?
It is heading that way, and we're grateful for the support we're getting. And we also think that investing in the team is part of that. That we have to do our part to invest in the team, to put that on the ice, and that's going to help us build support and ultimately make this a stable and sustainable franchise for the future.
Well, you and your group have done such a great job, Tom. How's your hockey game, by the way? I know you love to play with the old-timers and the alumni. How's your game these days?
Well, don't be misled by that. It's like paint drying, pretty much.
I've never heard that analogy, but
sometimes you can't put lipstick on a pig.
Kelly Chase reminds me of it frequently, so
that's great.
I have no trouble remembering.
Okay. Here come the Blues again. Steen, and a save by rebound, just missed. And Steen again. Tom Stillman, thank you so much for joining us, and the best of luck this year to you and your group.
Thank you. Thanks very much for having me.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you.
Always great to see the smiling face of Tom Stillman. He's got a reason to smile tonight. His Blues are up 3-1 in the first.
Opening night, the Blues with a 3-1 lead. The Blues talked about having patience with the puck this season. Only way you can score goals is have patience. And just look at the patience by David Backes. Here's Sabotka waiting for Rene to go down, sliding the backhander in, and then the same way on the third goal, little tic-tac-toe. It was Oshie that was able to just kind of sneak one just inside the pad of Rene. So patience with the puck, guys. That's how you score goals against a big goaltender. And because of that, Rene's no longer in the net right now.
And he got the hook after that third goal by Oshie. Mike Fisher got one back for Nashville. 4:25 left here in the first period. The Blues last year on home ice, 15-8-1. The Predators not very good on the road. They were 5-14-5 as they missed the playoffs by 14 points. And a shot right on and a save by Hutton as Derek Roy let it go.
Now, good control of the rebound there by Hutton. A tough position for the young goaltender to come into, but he's made some really good saves. Now it's up to Brendan Morrow and the Blues to continue to push the pace here on Hutton, because the Nashville Predators are not going to go away, even though it's a 3-1 deficit for them right now. Good save, good positioning, good left pad play there by Carter Hutton.
Their goalie coach, Mitch Korn, is the one who recommended they sign the career minor leaguer Carter Hutton, who again played last year in the Chicago organization. And that trickles wide. Now it is Weber. And Darren, as you know, Mitch Korn and the Predators, they have been a goaltending factory.
Yes, they have.
In their 16 years in the NHL.
Yep, and even go back to the very beginning, guys like Dan Ellis and guys like certainly Chris Mason, Thomas Vokoun. I mean, these guys are still around. They're still playing. He does a marvelous job there.
Lindback now in Tampa Bay.
Anders Lindback, yep.
Now Steen trying to shield a puck from Patrick Hornquist, who had a bruised foot in preseason. And the Blues take over Oshie. Scoops it on for Pietrangelo. And Backus the only forechecker.
Even develops goalies smart enough to go to Italy to end their career. Chris Mason. So that's.
Now the Predators up the ice with Fisher. He delays a bit and a high shot and a save by Halak.
Got a couple high that he's been able to handle and track.
Look out off the boards, and that came in front rather quickly. And then Sabothia gets the puck to center ice. He had the Blues' second goal. Talking to Brian Elliott the other day, Darren, about the nets and the shallower nets, and they're trimmed down on the sides, and he thought that was the biggest difference in practice in the games, was you had to be alert as a goalie for the puck coming out from directly behind the net.
And that's
what we saw in the goal.
Exactly, with that spalling pass over to Mike Fisher. And first time they went back there, they said it's like an Olympic rink back there.
Yeah. So that's another worry for the goaltenders if they don't have enough on their mind. 2:20 left here in the first. Now a pass ahead to Cullen. And a shot and a good pad save there by Halak.
That was a heck of a play there by Cullen. That was a crafty maneuver, and he got a good shot going from his backhand to his forehand. Terrific save there by Halak.
And Cullen signed a 2-year deal in the offseason. This is the youngster Bartley. With under 2 to play in the first period. It is Stewart, Morrow, and Roy up front for the Blues. And the puck to center, played back in by St. Louis. No icing here. And then Bartley reverses, almost got in trouble there. And now worked on to Clune. Up the ice with Hendricks. And then Leopold tips it for Morrow, who played in the final preseason game for the Blues in that 4-1 win against Minnesota. Leopold joins the attack here. Trying to slide one through. And Josi back there under some pressure from Stewart. And the Preds flip it out and back into the Blues end.
Well, that's a classic example of how the Blues have been breaking out. They're one of the best in the league at getting 4 guys up the ice on their breakout. And there Jordan Leopold helps out Derek Roy, and he gets in on the offense.
And now Backus gets in behind the Nashville goal in the final minute. Bouwmeester off the boards. Here's Oshie. Wraparound comes in front, and a good play there by the goaltender Hutton to get over. And it's chipped back to the Blues line. Now Backus through the legs of Steen. The Predators recover, and Colin Wilson tips one in there. And that's an icing call with 37 to go in the opening period. Well, the Cards, as you know, are in the postseason, and Fox Sports Midwest will have you covered with the Missouri Lottery Cardinals Live postgame show. Stay tuned after Blues Live tonight as recap Game 1 between the Cards and Pirates, and a big Cardinal win for Mike Matheny and the Redbirds in Game 1 of that best-of-5 series.
What a start that was. What a catch by David Freese, too. Just a great grab on the line. Would have been fair. He looked like an old goalie right there.
And he's a huge Blues fan, is David Freese. Hornquist is buried by Sabothia, and a shot by Bouwmeester went high and wide. And now the puck is touched by the Blues, and they'll bring the face-off to center ice.
Well, a good start. Every line, 4 lines getting involved in the offense. The one line that just had a play that touched the puck really the most for the first time in this game is the Derek Roy line with Brendan Morrow on the left and Chris Stewart on the right. One thing about Derek Roy, he makes great plays in small areas of the ice. And that's where our fans in St. Louis are really going to recognize the way he is and the reason why Doug Armstrong went calling to Derek Roy on that 1-year deal.
Had some injury problems last year in Dallas and Vancouver, and had 7 goals between the Stars and Canucks as the Blues have 4 new players on their roster.
And you look at Derek Roy on the left, career high 32 goals in 07-08, but 4 years of 60 points or more, and 1 year he had over 80. And Brendan Morrow, I mean, it's just leadership. It's what he does. It's how he plays the game. And Max Lapierre as well, a gritty fourth-line player. And Magnus Payarvi, who came over for the tricky David Perron, who's not in the David Perron, of course, playing for Edmonton. And Payarvi didn't dress in this one, but he's going to see lots of action this year.
As the Blues get the puck in front to Stewart in the dying seconds of the first period, and that was close. And that will do it. The horn sounds to end the first period, and a great one for the Blues.
Really strong period. Yaroslav Halak had a lot of action right there. Give Nashville plenty of credit. They pull their number one goalie, but they don't go away. They're going to make it a hard game, especially in the corners and grinding along the boards. And here's a quick little play to Stewart. Goes forehand, backhand, and it just fans on that right off the heel of his stick, and it ends up going wide.
Blues outshot 12-10, but lead 3-1. Let's go to Scott Warman. Well, the Blues lead it 3-1, and the Golden Brett is in the rafters with his number. He's in the house, and he's in our broadcast booth.
Fox Sports Midwest right now, too.
Trying to find all your records in here. Because there's a whole boatload of them in here.
He needs his own book. Brendan, it is so good to see you again. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks, John.
How did you enjoy the ovation that you got when you dropped that puck?
Something else. I had a little tear in my eye. I can honestly tell you that. It's always wonderful to be back, and I'm glad I'm here for good. And we got a great team and looking forward to a wonderful season.
That's interesting that you say that. You're an emotional guy, huh?
I am. I mean, you may not think it, but I am, and especially when it comes to being back in St. Louis with best sporting fans maybe in the world.
Well, it's a great start. I thought that the start was because you were fist pumping all the guys. I think you got them pumped up.
Well, yeah, that goes without saying. But hopefully now they can keep it going in the second and third.
Yeah, it is a 60-minute game. Brett, I watched opening night, the ceremony in Chicago, but in particular, your buddy Adam Oates behind the Washington bench. It seems like yesterday to me that Oates was feeding you when you were scoring 86. I mean, doesn't it just seem like a few years ago to you?
It does. It's it's been 14 years since I've been back, and it felt like I'd just been gone a couple of years. See so many friendly faces, and the fans, there's so many of them are just the same, and they never leave. And that's the special things about the St. Louis Blues and their fans.
2 minutes into the second period, Brett Hall is in our broadcast booth and joined the Blues on the business side. And Brett, I know that you had talked to Tom a year ago when he took over, but I guess the timing wasn't right with the lockout and things, and we're so happy that it did work out this summer.
Well, it is, and it's tough. Tom and his partners, the local ownership, coming into a terrible situation, taking over from the new ownership, and all of a sudden there's a lockout. So I think it was just one of those things where Tom and his group needed to get out and get their feet wet with the season and get a real feel for what they had here in St. Louis, and I think they realized how special it is.
Well, you're a man of the people, and is that the best thing about coming back to St. Louis? Because it is such a tight-knit community?
It is, and I've said this for many years, the relationship the St. Louis Blues have and the fans, it's like family, and it's like they adopt you into the city, and they care about you, and it's wonderful.
And how have you enjoyed your new role in the business offices under Bruce Affleck?
It's a little bit different. It's a lot of fun. Talking with the corporate community in St. Louis and trying to express to them how important they are for us and the survival of the St. Louis Blues. We're a small market team, and we do a lot of things here in downtown St. Louis to help the city. 15 million people come through this arena every year, and we do a lot, and we need the support to continue and we want to build this into a first-class organization.
Totally agree with you. And the key words are small market. And, when that happens and you want to keep a competitive team and win championships, well, then certain things have to be paid in terms of a price for it. And the fans are coming. They're here. They're enthusiastic.
The fans are here, and we need corporate St. Louis to come and support us, and we will support them right back.
Well, right now, Holly, what we need is to get out of our own zone.
Yeah, it's, as well as we're playing, we're having a little
lull going on, huh?
Tough time in our own end a little bit. And,
so when that happened when you were playing, and you can sense it on the bench that momentum's gone the other way, what happens? What turns things around?
Well, it's your grinders, your physical players. They got to go out. They got to get a big hit. Maybe a fight here and there. But then if you're a skilled guy, you got to go out and create a scoring chance to get the fans all excited.
Watching Seth Jones of the Nashville Predators, you saw him in Dallas a little bit, I'm sure, with Popeye Jones, the former NBA star.
Absolutely. He's going to be a tremendous NHL star in his first year. And there's so many great young players coming up nowadays. It's a little bit different than it used to be.
And a save there by Halak as Nystrom had walked in. Fred Hall, of course, we all know about the 99 Cup team. You scored the winning goal. Hitch was the coach. Army was the assistant general manager. Have you had a chance to revisit those memories with those guys? Did you spend a lot of time with them?
Yeah, well, a little bit. With training camp going on, Ken's been very busy, and Army, evaluating what he's got. Although, with our team here, it was pretty well set in stone what was going to happen. A late addition of Brendan Morrow, which I think is a great acquisition, and but we have talked, and we're just hoping it's like deja vu all over again, like Yogi Berra says, and we can get together and the three of us can win another championship and bring the parade down Market.
Is Hitch the same coach as he was back in those days?
Well, intelligence-wise and X's and O's and his ability to put a game plan together to win, for sure. I really think that he's softened up a little bit. He understands, that you have to, give the players a little bit of freedom. But other than that, he's one of the best in the NHL.
We won't tell Hitch you said he softened up a little bit, though. That'll just be between us.
No, I'm going to probably tell him.
He wouldn't believe it anyway.
Well, and if he hasn't, he's got UN and Brendan Morrow around. All we need now is Mike Keane.
That's right.
And there's a hard drive by the hard-shooting Weber. Blues lead 3-1 here. Early stages of the second period. And a pass again. Nashville with some good zone pressure here.
Yep.
As Weber lets it fly. They've had the Blues hemmed in at times in front. And Oshie got back to break it up before Smith could get it. Now Josi tipped in front. Oh, Cullen, point blank, and a save by Halak on that Cullen. Well, Yarrow's working down the ice.
Yarrow has said many times to me that the biggest adjustment from here to Montreal is the lack of shots. And when you don't face shots for 10 or 15 minutes, it's hard to keep yourself into it. Well, he's facing some shots, and he's responded in a big way.
It certainly is. We're having a little bit of a tough time in our defensive zone.
And now the Blues break the center with some numbers. And Oshie hit the goalpost. What a shot there by Oshie. And it remains 3-1. Now Hornquist comes back. And they tip it in. Legwand with a great play. And David Legwand cuts the lead to 3-2.
That's a heck of a play by Nashville, but we'll have to check the crossbar and the replay over the shoulder of Hutton on that great shot by Oshie. If it, in fact, does not go in the net, then what a turn of events that is. It's either 4-1 or now 3-2. There's the play. Well, from that angle, really tough to see there. But off the bar, goes down the other end, and what a pass here by Hornquist. Just a buttery, feathery little pass, and then it's redirected up high into the net by David Legwand.
Panger, just the sound of the post down here, I'm pretty sure that Oshie's went off the bar.
It did, huh?
Yeah, they're going to check it out, but from my angle here, just the sound, it seems like unless it was the inside bar, but it certainly sounded like it was a post from this angle here at ice level.
So Legwand is first of the year at 5.09, and is that a big turnaround? Instead of 4-1, it's 3-2.
Well, in saying that, though, Nashville deserved that break right there. They've been playing hard. They've been turning it around a little bit right here, and the Blues have really got to get back going to their game.
And Ron Hall, as you know, sometimes a 3-0 lead on home ice can be the worst lead in hockey.
I don't know if it's the worst lead in hockey, but if you just sit back and let them keep coming at you, it's the worst lead in hockey. I know that.
And here they come again with Fisher. And that was stripped away. Good job by Roy. And now Stewart to center ice for Morrow. The goal by Leguan from Hornquist at 5:09. And a pass ahead for Morrow. And then Roy follows up for the Blues. And now we get a whistle, and the Blues may have been caught with too many men. I believe that was Brett Hall. Always a pleasure to see you, and great to have you back in St. Louis. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight.
Great seeing you, Holly.
Thanks, fellas. Appreciate it.
Okay, bud.
Keep up the good work.
Mitch, I know you talked about the Predators being one of the hardest working teams. Is that what's happening right now? Are they outworking your guys?
Yeah, we've had flashes, but their tempo, they're above us right now. They're moving the puck by our forecheck, and they're on top of our D's quick, and we're not communicating enough. The pace is hot and high right now, and we're struggling. We got to keep going and get back up where we were at the start of the game.
Thanks, Hitch.
And now the Blues are short-handed for the first time tonight. Too many men on the ice, minor. Served by Stewart. So the Predators within one now. And Jackman a hit back of the goal on Craig Smith. And Jackman takes it away for the Blues. And down the ice it goes. Last year the Predators power play 17.1%. The Blues on the kill were 7th best at 84.7.
One area Nashville's been very good in this game is behind the net, making plays. Quick plays, one-time plays in the high slot. See if the Blues can nullify that.
And that's broken up by Berglund, now on for Oshie. And that's dumped into the Nashville zone. Back comes Fisher. He scored their first goal. And now Leguan here in the second. To the line now for Jones, the rookie. Over for Ekholm. Down the boards, now back intended for Jones. That's tipped by the Oshie stick. Good read, and it goes out of play.
Good read there by TJ Oshie. Young Seth Jones, number 3, the right-hand shot, was waiting for that play. And Oshie almost lured that pass into it. You can see the way the setup is being played. Stop it here if we can. And here's Oshie. He's almost kind of buying time because the pass is going to go over here. And then he gets his stick brilliantly out there and no play. Dead. Face off to the right of Jaro Halak.
Well, he made a good play, Panger, because he made the mistake of not getting that puck deep before the chain. So he was responsible for making a good play there.
A year ago, the Predators, the lowest scoring team in the league, averaging 2.2 goals a game. Broken up by Pietrangelo. And then thrown back in. And Matthias Ekholm, their 7th choice back in 09. And now we get a whistle with 32 to go in the bench minor for the Blues.
Now face-off will be in the offensive zone for the Blues. So Max Lapierre gets out there. Lapierre and Sobotka worked real hard in training camp on the penalty kill. Lapierre being new to the system. Bradshaw and the St. Louis Blues have had one of the top penalty kills. They finished in the top 10 in 5 of the last 6 seasons, including 7th last year.
And the draw is won by Leguan. Shots in this period, 7-3 for Nashville. As Ekholm goes for a skate.
J.K. Leguan's going to be interesting. He's a potential UFA.
Their first ever draft choice was David Leguan. 2nd overall back in 98. Well, Leguan to the line for Jones. And then Leguan again. And he was tripped up by Bouwmeester, but no call. And Wilson a pass back. There's Stewart out of the box. He breaks it up. Nashville, no shots on that power play. And now it is Stewart into the zone, but Sobotka was in ahead of the puck. And we get the offside.
Well, now getting it back to 5-on-5. Nashville's done a great job of hanging into this game. They've outshot the Blues 19-13 now. So for Jordan Leopold and the Blues, I think it's time to get working again as a 5-man unit. Ken Hitchcock talked an awful lot here as we are at even strength, but talked an awful lot about getting 4 guys up on the rush, getting speed, getting the line. And in this second period, for whatever reason, coming out of the break, coming out of the first period intermission, fellas, it hasn't been the same team as what they started.
Maybe a bit of a letdown after the first. Who knows?
Yeah, and a comfy lead, too. When you get into too great of a lead, then you end up kind of taking your foot off the pedal.
Now it is Roman Josi for Nashville, the youngster from Switzerland. Hendricks gets it deep. And then back of the goal, Clune on the forecheck. But now it is Shattenkirk quickly ahead for Berglund. The Predators have always been a very good skating team, and that is why, a big reason why they're a good forechecking team. Now Jaden Schwartz off the boards to himself, then tries to make a play down low now for Tarasenko. And they are eliminated. And Weber along feed to center ice. Tipped along by Spalling. And there's that hybrid icing again. Spalling was not ahead of the Blues players, so they blew it down.
Yeah, and this is where, in talking to the goaltenders and the players, there's not much time for that decision between the linesman, the defenseman, the oncoming forechecker, which was Mike Fisher, and there's Pietrangelo looked like he was actually saying something to him, like, I didn't know if it was going to be icing or not, but at full speed, it's quick decision right there.
Win the face-off, and a shot by Bouwmeester. Never got on goal, as Carter Hutton is in net for Rene. He was pulled after the Blues' third goal. And now Steen fights off a check. Alexander Steen throws it low for Oshie. Tipped on to Backes, to the front, and the Predators have the right coverage, and they break it up. And then Weber gets the puck to center ice for Hendricks. On to Spalling, moved in by Fisher. Here he comes. And a backhander and a save by Alaka came in front, but nobody was home for Nashville.
Mike Fisher has had a heck of a game so far. He has been all over it, not quitting, moving his skates, getting involved. There he makes another good play when it seemed like it was dead.
And now Backes works the corner. Under 10 to play here in the second period. And then Backes back for Polak. And his shot was way high and wide. Stewart. Oh, what a hit by Morrow. Flattened Fisher. Morrow a pass in front, and that was tipped just wide. As Polak had worked in. Now Stewart gets a tight angle. He'll throw one across the ice. And then Morrow in front of the goal was upended by Klein, and I think Klein will go.
It's actually going to be Mike Fisher, who was right beside Klein, but it was Fisher that ended up knocking him down right there. Heck of a shift by the veteran Brendan Morrow. Well, Brendan Morrow puts a lot on the line. 14 points in 15 games, but these are some of the intangibles. Almost interference there as he drills Fisher. But look at Fisher. He's going to come back, and he's going to end up taking down Morrow. So the hit on Fisher, Fisher thinks he gets him back, but instead, Fisher ends up going to the box.
And the Blues 1 for 1 on the power play. Blues goals Backes, Sobotka, and Oshie. Blues control the face-off. Bouwmeester, and then to Berglund. Backes parked in front. It's Bouwmeester out high for Pietrangelo. And he slows it down. Again for Bouwmeester. Quickly across to Berglund. He had 5 power play goals last year, did Berglund. Berglund looks around. And then Oshie gets it down low. Everything on the outside thus far. Now back for Pietrangelo, winds up and fires it. And a save there by Hutton. And then back to the goal. Weber's engaged with a couple of Blues, including Backes, and the goaltender Hutton grabs it, and we get a whistle.
Well, the Blues start things off with a good face-off win, and then you've got control of the puck the entire time. They're waiting for that one opportunity for the shot. This was the one. Backes is in front. I'm not sure if Hutton got a piece of that with his stick or not, but then they can't jam it on the short side. Berglund shows plenty of patience on the half boards, and at one point, Bouwmeester was kind of stagnant on Bernie, so he went right through the middle. They're trying to open up a lane for Pietrangelo, but I thought Matt Hendricks did a good job of defending that.
No, you made a great point. Bouwmeester going through the middle is very important because that was great control. I loved what I saw there.
And a drive by Shattenkirk as he walks the line, and a good save as the Blues win another face-off in the offensive zone.
Well, Bernie, you'd like this one here, so I'm going to let Bernie take us through this face-off win by Derek Roy. And Derek Roy ends up getting down real low, Bernie.
Yeah, you know what? You get as down as low as you can. That way you get the most leverage. And He is a strong man. He's not very tall, so he can get down a lot lower, closer to that face-off circle, which really works a lot. But I think Ken Hitchcock talked about how good the Nashville Predators were on the face-offs. I think the Blues are doing a great job themselves. Don't forget that they won the first face-off of the game there in the zone that scored the first power play goal. So very important face-off.
And another one there by Derek Roy.
Now back on the blue line, Steen, a drive, and he scores! And then a tip, another power play goal, it's 4-2.
It's the energy the Blues needed. Another good face-off win. Derek Roy wins 2 in a row. And then with his quick hands, he's able to play it back to Steen. And Steen just lets this one go, and it's a seeing-eye shot. Got through a maze of players, went off the goalie's glove. Big Chris Stewart in front of the net, and maybe Stewie got a hold of that one right there. Might have touched it, nibbled off something before going in the net.
Yeah, I can't tell from my angle either whether that's Stewart or not.
And it was tipped out high after Steen let it go. And then, as we said, it went right by the leg of Stewart. And we'll wait for the announcement. It's 4-2. And we think, looking at the replays in our truck, that it will be Steen's goal. But again, we'll wait.
Goal, his first of the season, scored by number 20.
It is Steen's power play goal.
Well, Steen led the Blues in shots on goal last year with 129. This does not touch Chris Stewart at all. Stewart puts himself in a great position, doesn't know it's even in by that point. His job is to screen the goalie, try to get a stick on it, and it goes through Stewart, beyond the goalie, and in the net.
And the assist, Derek Roy and Kevin Shattenkirk. So Roy gets his first point as a Blue.
Great pursuit on the puck, though, on the win face-off for Shattenkirk to come in and help and then get it to Roy. So that's great working together.
And the Blues with a 4-2 lead, 2 for 2 in the power play. And it's fired back of the goal, tracked down by Pietrangelo. On defense with Bouwmeester. Nice pass up the middle for Oshie. Hits the line with Sobotka. And a delay and a shot by Oshie and a pad save by Hutton. And then Weber gets it back. Up the boards and a good job by Leguan to win a battle against Sobotka. Sobe had a tough preseason. Was knocked out cold in Tampa on hit by a rookie Adam Ernie. And then in Minnesota a few weeks ago, he was checked into the goalpost and got about 10 stitches right behind his ear.
Yeah, and a bad neck, a bad ear, bad head. That's what happens when you pay the price every time, isn't it? And he came to camp at about 200 rock-solid pounds. He was one of the strong... Oh, what a hit that is there by Ryan Reeves.
Big and a rock solid. Sobe about 4 pounds heavier, but as you said, it looks like he's added some muscle. And a shot right on, saved by Halak. As Ekholm let it go from a tough angle. And then Ekholm again. Out high for Craig Smith. Bounces to the right point, chopped in by Jones. And now Lapierre under some heat from behind. And then Smith trying to feed one through the legs of Jackman. Predators get it again. On the give and go in front. And a player goes down and a penalty called against the Blues as Craig Smith was upended.
Well, Ryan Reeves was going to the wrong side of the puck, and he thought that he could maybe scoop it up, and he kind of cheated on the offensive side. Nashville was able to keep it in, and
Number
because
17,
of that,
St. Louis, 2 minutes tripping.
Vladdy Sobotka ends up taking a tripping call because Sobotka is actually making up for that play. So he's got to come in front, and actually Smith is falling over at that point. Sobotka's stick is in that area, but there's no question, in my mind anyway, that Smith wasn't actually hauled down as a result of that. It looked like he was going down before that. Maybe I'm wrong.
Nashville 0 for 1 in the power play as Sobotka goes for tripping. And the Blues win the faceoff. And then ripped down the ice by Pietrangelo. He's on defense with Bouwmeester up front, Backes and Steen. Shots in the game, 21-17 for the visitors. Nashville plays tomorrow night in Colorado. The Blues, of course, have their first 5 at home, including a Saturday date with the Florida Panthers. Now it is Wilson to the line. Roman Josi back to Wilson. He moves in. A shot blocked by Pietrangelo. Ends up in the corner, and there is Bouwmeester with those long strides. He gets there and whips it all the way down.
Patrick Roy, the Hall of Fame goaltender, is a little lighter in the wallet after what happened last night with Anaheim and Bruce Boudreau. Skirmish and pushing on the bench right there. 10,000. Right off the hop in your NHL debut as the head coach.
Yeah, that was the good news. He won the game, but a rather ugly incident at the end of the game. And the fiery Roy gets fined $10,000. He didn't make a lot of money in his career.
I don't
For the record, and won 4 cups.
Johnny, I don't think we have to take a collection for him.
No, I think he's fine. And the Blues play it off the boards. And Lapierre wins that battle against Cullen, shorthanded. And Lapierre, who did a ton of penalty killing with Vancouver, drags that puck in deep. And now recovered by Jones. And again, the birthday boy, 19 years old, is Seth Jones. As Cullen gets it free for the Predators. Here's Jones, back of the goal. Looks to work in front. Instead, he goes out high. Ekholm now for Cullen. 15 to go in the power play. Cullen is a very good playmaker. Back of the goal, Fisher. Cullen to the line. Jones thought about shooting. Ekholm does, and that hit Schwartz right in the midsection of the arm.
That just exploded off Ekholm's stick right there.
And now back for Jones again. The drive, and that goes wide, and Sobotka's back. And the Blues are 2 for 2 on the kill. And no shots again for Nashville. Here's Schwartz in front. Roy wide open. Oh, great play to Sobotka. Would have had an empty net, but he never got a stick on it. That was a great no-look feed by Derek Roy.
Yeah, that's the vision of Derek Roy, isn't it? 4-time 20-goal scorer, but he's a disher of the puck. That's his strength.
Here he comes again. Drop pass, Shattenkirk to the front. Brendan Morrow is robbed there by Hutton. And then a shot was wide by Shattenkirk. And that was Morrow's best chance tonight.
Was it ever? Good save there by Hutton on the veteran Morrow.
And he had the answer there. Now the Blues come in. Leopold. Low shot. Stick save there by Hutton. And it comes around to Leopold. In front. Morrow again. And that shot was blocked by Bartley. And pressure by this Derek Roy line. And finally covered by Carter Hutton. And there's Morrow in the midst of things.
Well, Morrow started this play by grabbing the puck quickly with his hand. It was going wide. He reaches out, great athleticism, puts it down, and they get a good chance on goal. Here's the play before that. Whoa! Empty netter. What a save on the left pad. Well, time now for some wicked high-speed shots, and it's brought to you by Charter. And you take a look at the 2 power play goals. The first one, Pietrangelo shot, rebound, David Backes. A high-speed shot from the point. This one here, just a blast. Gets through everybody, including Stewart and the goaltender, Carter Hutton.
And Morrow and Bartley get matching minors, so we will go 4-on-4 for 2 minutes. 3:31 left in the second period. It is Backes, along with Steen, Pietrangelo, and Bouwmeester. And the draw is won by David Legwand. He's up front with Patrick Hornquist, who had a tough year a year ago with only 4 goals. But he has always played well against the Blues.
Yeah, he's always good at getting to that front of the net, isn't he? Creates a lot of havoc there, has some good hands, tough to deal with in that area.
Now Hornquist and Legwand work the corner, broken up by Steen. And Backes marches to center ice. Bouwmeester joins the party, scoops one to the corner. And now Bouwmeester gets it back of the goal. In this 4-on-4. Rolled around, Sobotka, the reverse hit on Legwand, and he gets the puck. Now Sobotka back to Bouwmeester. Tip play in front, and that hit the skate of Pietrangelo.
Yeah, just behind him, just slightly behind him.
And then Sobotka again snaps a shot, and a save by Hutton with Steen. Draped all over the long-time minor league goaltender Carter Hutton.
Yeah, Hutton had to do a good job of staying with it because it's intimidating when you've got a guy coming on you and you're still trying to focus on the puck. Quite often you end up not looking at the puck for a split second and it ends up behind you. You know that Steen's going to be there. And watch Weber too. Weber kind of sandwiches him there as well. There's not many places for Steen to go to. And I was looking at the referee, and he kind of looked at everybody like, no, that's just incidental contact right there. That's why there's no penalty on the play. Often, though, you do see a penalty on the play in that situation. Fine line there.
As Weber really pushed Steen into the goaltender.
Yeah, nowhere to go.
And now Sobotka again on the face-off, this time against Cullen. Blues win the key draw, back for Shattenkirk. Handed on to Leopold. Little head fake move on Cullen. And then Cullen got back to break it up. And that comes around for Gabriel Bourque, but a good pinch there by Shattenkirk. Wide open Sobotka. Waits, fires it, and that was blocked. Again, great patience there by Sobotka. Nearly had a second tonight.
Yeah, great play by Shattenkirk, too. You can see that the theme of the Blues, they're stressing the real activity, getting in, moving their feet, and getting involved. And Shattenkirk's certainly been one of those guys.
And now Shattenkirk trying to work it up the boards, gets some support there from Leopold with 30 to go in the Mackey Miners. And 2 minutes left here in the second period. And a long feed ahead, just out of the reach of Roy. And turning is Jones. And on to Fisher. Smith trying to break in. That was broken up by Jackman. Shattenkirk trying to feed Roy. And Yoshi got back to nullify that rush. Here's Smith. Fakes a shot. Now lets it go, and it's blocked by Jackman. Then Jackman to the end boards. Fights off the Smith forecheck, and Pollock emerges. And here come the Blues. Pollock, a red shot, and Hutton makes the pad save. Now Pollock, wraparound, comes in front. Morrow was in the area. He's out of the box. Then back at full strength. Now centered by Roy. And that hit his skate and goes right to the Predator player, Yossi. And all he can do is snap one into the blue zone.
Roy tried just a quick little pass there, but it was Roman Pollock that was trying to vacate the area and get back to his point position, so he never saw that puck coming.
In the final minute of the second period, Blues up by 2. And a pass by Jones, almost picked off by Berglund. Jones's dad is still in the NBA, an assistant coach with the Indiana Pacers. And his mom and brothers are going to move to Nashville.
Great to have that support. Important to have that. Great family. He's a mature kid.
Now Tarasenko to Berglund. And a shot just wide. Berglund was a bit flat-footed and couldn't get a lot on it. But a good setup by Tarasenko. And now Pietrangelo has it. Great feet in front. Berglund. The drive, and that was blocked by Weber.
What a play by Weber to time that one.
And now Schwartz against Jones. Schwartz wins the battle. He wins a lot of battles. Finds Berglund. Pietrangelo, and a shot, and that was high and wide.
Oh, did that hit Schwartz? He's got hit by a couple of them so far in this game.
Yeah, he blocked the Nashville shot and now blocks some friendly fire there, and that will do it at the end of the second period.
Well, good end of the period. A little bit more momentum from the Blues. Many times in the early parts of that, Yaroslav Halak weathered the storm, and the Blues got their feet going again to end that second period.
Yeah, Legwand made it very interesting with his first of the year to make it 3-2, but then Steen, the power play goal, and the Blues up 4-2 after 2. Let's go to Scott Warman. Well, for the 5th straight year, the Blues open at home. All time, they are 11-6-2 in home openers, and they lead this one 4-2 as we get set for the third period. Blues hockey is brought to you by Bud Light. It's a sure sign of a good time. Here we go. Underway third period. Teams at full strength. Although Eric Nystrom of the Predators did pick up a 10-minute misconduct at the end of that second period. So he must have said something to the referee and is gone for 10.
Well, that breaks up, really a line that's been very, very good for them with Nick Spalling and with Mike Fisher. And now Hornquist is on that right side.
Now the Blues get the puck to center ice. Oshie with Steen and Backus. And that trickles in behind the goal. And again, Carter Hutton in relief of Pekka Rinne, who was yanked after giving up 3 goals on 6 shots. Rinne, coming off hip surgery, did not play a complete game in the preseason. So the Predators know that they got to get him going. As Bourque comes in, and a shot hit the midsection of Jaro Halak. And then Bouwmeester around for Schwartz. Look out, Klein stepped up and rattled Schwartz.
Good pinch there by Klein. Schwartz had no choice, no chance.
And now a centering feed. Good read by Schwartz to break it up. And a centering pass again, but there's Vladimir Tarasenko, who had 2 goals on opening night last year against Detroit. And Tarasenko pitchforks the puck back on the goal. Schwartz there now for Tarasenko. Makes a play and a shot and a save by Hutton. And then back on the line to Jackman. Down low. Tarasenko for Schwartz. And that was just off the stick. Now Jackman again. Trying to hit Roy in the slot. And that goes to the end boards. And now the Predators slow it down. And Klein has it for Nashville. It is Roy, Stewart, and Brendan Morrow for the Blues. Morrow did not know until this afternoon that he could play tonight because of his visa issues. And again, only played in 1 preseason game. The son-in-law of Guy Carbonneau, the former St. Louis Blue. Here's Colin Wilson for Nashville. Trying to lose Derek Roy with some stops and starts. And then Pollock comes in against Leguan, who keeps it moving around the end boards. And now Stewart gets it back for the Blues. Nice pass in front for Pollock, and he gets to center ice. And then off the skates, Roy now onto the stick plate. Roy a pass, and that was blocked. Goes down low for Morrow, far side for Stewart. The Blues goal-scoring leader last year. Stewart in front, and a pass by Morrow intended for Roy. And then Roy was knocked down to the corner by Ekholm. Blues keep it moving back for Bouwmeester, and a shot, a blocker save by Hutton. And the shots are now 22 apiece as both clubs make changes here. In his first NHL game, Seth Jones the long feed, tipped in by Clune. Halak couldn't play that because it was outside the trapezoid. And a shot got through as Clune let it go, and a save again by Halak. And now Sabotka hit the referee. Kostad to Hendricks, comes in front. And a big pile-up, and the Blues punch it away, and it goes back down the ice. And no icing here.
Good save there by Jaro Halak. He's been strong, hasn't he? Not fading away from the post, being strong in those little areas of the ice. And it is shown with his practice habits. Now, Bernie, we watched him. You know, you watch him every day, and he's not quitting on pucks. There's a different work ethic that he's shown in practice, and I think that always relays to game situations.
Yeah, he's really focused, and you know what, the guys really can see that as well. They're trying an awful lot harder too to make sure that they help him out with all the rebounds that are coming out. But I think he's been very solid in the first 44 minutes of this game.
Reeves doesn't get it deep, and a shot by Yossi. And that's right on goal as Ryan Reeves had the puck at center, didn't get it in, and the Predators on the counter.
And this is a good example for fans out there looking at the goaltenders' pads as they've been tapered in again. But keep your eye on a little bit of the hole. The shot's taken by Yossi after Ryan Reeves turns it up. And we'll see right here, just the opening of the pads, and there's a little bit of room. And he said to me during training camp that you've got to squeeze that butterfly a lot quicker, a lot tighter than you did before.
As Steen snaps it on goal, and Hutton makes the easy glove save. And we get a stoppage in play. Well, Blues fans, to say next Wednesday's game against the Hawks will be a big one is an understatement. And if you're here enjoying a great game, why not help a great cause like Hockey Fights Cancer? Volunteers will be selling Lavender Blues pins throughout the night, and all proceeds will be given to the charity. It's a great cause, as you know. For tickets, contact the Ford box office. Hockey Fights Cancer. It's a great concern of all 30 NHL teams, and they raise a lot of money for that awesome cause.
And they sure do.
Here is Oshie, tough angle, takes a shot and trickles just wide. And that may have been tipped on the way through by Backus for Steen, and now we get a whistle and a hand pass, I believe, from one Blues player to another.
No,
are they going to call a penalty?
Yeah, he put his hand on it, John. He covered it up with his hand, and that's what the penalty's going to be.
There's Bernie Federko at ice level. Bernie, good call right there.
St. Louis number 22 minutes for putting his hand over the puck.
That was a rule that came in last year. Basically, you can't conceal the puck, and that's what Steen did.
Yeah, he nearly has it there. Now he's fighting for it, trying to fend off Yossi. The hand comes out. It's coming out there, and the referee is 8 feet from him. Dave Jackson makes the correct call.
Nashville 0 for 2 on the power play. And no shots. This is David Legwand. Marnquist in the slot. Out high again to Jones, now for Ekholm. 2 rookies back on the points here in the power play. Sobotka, great read, and there's an example of the Blues moving in unison to break up a play.
Yeah, both Sobotka and Pietrangelo.
And now Legwand gets it back in. On the line to Jones, and a hard shot. Halak may have gotten his glove on that one. And now Wilson feeds Jones again. Here comes Wilson. Defers for Legwand. Legwand, a drive, blocked in front by Pollock. Pinballs around and grabbed by Lapierre. And Max Lapierre gets it out.
But a good athletic play there by Jones to keep her going the other way.
Well, he's about 6'4", and the son of an NBA player.
He palmed that.
But that is legal. You just can't conceal it. And 55 left in Steen's minor. Ekholm back to get it. He was the Swedish Elite League MVP last year, was Ekholm, a 4th rounder. Jackman in a foot race here. Gets there ahead of Fisher with a good play, and he guns it down the ice. And Yossi back to get it with 30 to go in the Nashville power play. Predators 0 for 2. The Blues are 2 for 2. Quite simply the difference in the game. And Jackman now for Sobotka. And he picks it opening.
And no mistake either. You see how quickly when the Blues get it on their tape, they're not looking around trying to see if there's another play. They're just firing it the length of the ice and making wholesale changes.
Here come the Predators late in the power play. Smith throws one back on the goal. Jordan Leopold back there. Leopold was an unrestricted free agent re-signed by the Blues. Yossi gets it, a shot, and a body goes wide. The Blues have killed it off. 3 for 3, and again, they held Nashville shotless on the power play.
Yeah,
so they've had no shots on 3 power plays.
Yep, and when pucks are getting through, they're getting blocked. Kevin Shattenkirk went up for that puck, and boy, did he take a shoulder or an elbow right in the chops. And he's a little bit dazed right now in this unfortunate circumstance because he can't make a change right now because of the icing.
And a face-off win by the Predators. Here is Klein. Angles one back of the goal for Hendricks. Hendricks again to Klein. Quickly across to Bartley. Looking for a tip. That goes wide. And then Steen upends the Nashville player. Gets the puck. And throws it up the middle and back to center ice. Blues play their first 5 at home and 7 of 10 in the month of October here at Scottrade. And Roy back of the Blues goal. The native of Ottawa, Ontario is Derek Roy.
Nice, good Ottawa boy.
That's the first one of the year, boys.
That's the first reference of many.
How many more are we going to have?
That's it, Bernie.
On the forecheck, Stewart, he gets it free. Puck bounces in front. And now Bourque trying to get out of a traffic jam at center. Lost it. Here's Roy back in now for Morrow. And then to Stewart. Drop pass, Morrow. And his pocket picked by Cullen, and away he comes. And the former Wild player, Matt Cullen. He also won a cup with Carolina back in 06, did Cullen. Now Cullen, tough angle, trying to get to the front, and Bouwmeester came over at the last second to break it up. Oh, Stewart, a risky play, and got away with it. A very risky play there.
Yeah, we watched a lot of training camp. I never saw that option.
The old backhand flip up the middle.
Hey, Bernie.
It's not there. Trust me, it's not there. That's going to be circled for tomorrow's highlights.
Now the Predators come in. Wilson. He pulls up to the front. And a good play by Jackman to chop it away, and it comes to center ice. And 11:20 left in regulation time. The Blues leading 4-2 on opening night after a big Cardinal win earlier today. And Jackman back to get it off the glass and out. And then back to score the first goal tonight. Up the middle, trickles in on goal, and Hutton will take no chances. And he covers. Blues lead by 2 here in the third.
Time now for a Bomarito Sports Update. Florida Panthers will be at the Scottrade Center on Saturday. They're in action right now. They score first in the first against Dallas as Scotty Gomez scores the goal. Alex Chason would even the score at 1-1 for the Stars. They've gotten a third period goal. They lead it 2-1 as we go back upstairs. Darren Payne and John Kelly.
All right, Scott, the new look Dallas Stars with new general manager Jim Nill. as Joe Buck looks on, and Lindy Ruff is the new coach of the Dallas Stars. Joe's a big hockey fan, as we all know.
Is he ever? And he's one of those guys. He supports the local team. He's got his season tickets all the time. Did a great voiceover, too, on a promotion to begin the season here for the Blues. I'll be worried about Dallas. It's going to be an interesting team. Great manager, terrific coach. Kind of a new era again for the Dallas Stars.
Here's Tarasenko, wins the battle down low, tried to get to the front, and that is broken up, and then the race board. Berglund gets back quickly for the Blues ahead of Hendricks. And now Tarasenko comes in. Three Preds are back. Tarasenko a shot, and he surprised Hutton with that high wrist shot. And now it is Berglund in the slot for Schwartz. Oh, pass back and off Tarasenko.
Yeah.
They may have been intended for Leopold.
I agree, yeah. Sorry, I was cutting in there on you. I totally agree. I don't think that was intended for him.
Now Schwartz, who again had 3 goals in preseason, using some new sticks this year, and can really snap that shot. As the Blues, Tarasenko. Berglund on the cycle. Away from Bartley. Hard pass back to the line to Shattenkirk. Wrist shot, and that was blocked in front. I think Mike Fisher got in the way, and the Preds fire it out.
And again, the same theme that so many teams have, but funnel everything towards the net. The more you funnel to the net, the more chance you're going to get the puck back and have possession on the second attempt.
Midway through the third period, the Blues with a 4-2 advantage. Well, the best hockey games in stores now. EA Sports NHL 14. You can lace up the skates and set up goals like the Blues' newest center, Derek Roy. Signed as a free agent on July 11th, the former Sabre second-rounder. And Darren, we had the rally before the game outside Scott Trade, and Doug Armstrong, the Blues general manager, one of the things he wanted to do this summer was get a playmaking center, and that's why he got Roy.
Yeah, and he believed in him. He knows him from the World Championships as part of a Canadian Gold. He knows him as a member of the Buffalo Sabres, of the Kitchener Rangers, but he knows that he's a motivated individual because he didn't get the contract offer that others got.
There's a rebound attempt for Sobotka after it was Lapierre who had the initial shot. And now Sobotka and Reeves on the forecheck. They win that battle. And to the corner again, Sobotka. With 9:30 left here in the third, the Blues up 4-2. Lapierre to Pietrangelo. Good keep in there for Reeves. And Reeves in the corner. Cullen knocks it away, and now back to center ice.
That's a really good shift by what you call the fourth line, but they're going to get some valuable ice when the game's on the line or time to change the momentum, getting pucks in deep, having sustained pressure. That was a good shift.
And they spent the entire shift in the offensive zone. Now Boltneys are up the board. Oshie to center ice for Steen. Then back to Oshie, and he was pulled down. The referees were right there, but let it go. Now Steen to the front. Here's Backus turning. Instead, back to Pollock. A drive, and that was blocked in front by a Predator player. Now Pollock again. And then Oshie tips it back to the goal. And Ekholm to the far side for Legua. Center ice. Here comes Seth Jones. He's got a big shot. Lets it go, and that was blocked by Pollock.
Great composure, though, by Jones right there. Going to the neutral zone with speed. You can see the instincts that he has.
And now Steen, nice drop pass. Pollock, head back is cutting up the slot, and that pass is blocked. Where Backus would have been right in cold turkey.
Everything was beautiful about that, but you need a little saucer pass there from Roman.
And now pass to the front. Tipped by Pollock.
Little elevation there. Little heel-to-toe saucer pass, huh, Bernie?
Yep. But you know what? He's a defenseman. We'll give him an okay on that.
Here's Josi with under 8 to play, third period. And Nick Smalling. He is taken out by Boltneys. The puck comes around. Stewart on the wall. It gets Weber. And it comes up to Morrow. And Morrow does the job to clear the puck.
You know, and ending that thought on Derek Roy as well. And don't forget, he hadn't been playing healthy for a couple of years. Nagging shoulder injury. Had surgery finally. He's as strong as he's been in years.
Had knee surgery a couple of years ago, and again had a groin injury all of last year, so it's tough to play this game when you're banged up.
It's tough enough when you're healthy.
Exactly. Well, Bartley back with a goal. Along with Clune. That's knocked away. And now Stewart comes over there with Morrow. Here the Blues have been much better on the breakouts and have not been hemmed in like they were at times in the second. Pietrangelo, late pass, and off the skate of Stewart. So they've been a lot cleaner on their own end in the last 20 minutes of this game.
Yeah, no question about that.
You know, the pace has come down quite a bit, guys. I think, you know, the hype of the first game of the year, a lot of adrenaline. I think some of that has gone away in this third period because there's not near as much energy as we saw in the first two periods.
And off the back of the Blues goal, penalty coming up here.
I think that's going to be on Berglund in front of the net. Rich Clune was in front of the net, number 16 for Nashville. And the referee's motioning for an extension of the arms, a cross-check there by Berglund. This will be still lots of hockey left to be played here. Power play coming up for Nashville. This will be their fourth power play of the game.
Minor cross-check.
Minor for cross-checking. Berglund just trying to defend his territory. Keep your eye on 21 there. And, of course, Clune doesn't go to the other side. He went right into the goaltender.
Wasn't much of a cross-check, was it?
No.
Smart play by Clune, though.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And even a smarter play, might as well go into the goalie.
Yep.
You know you've already been cross-checked. The referee's not going to call a goalie interference play there.
So the Predators 0 for 3 with no shots. And they send out Cullen between Fisher and Smith. Josi and Weber back on the points. Last year, Weber led the club with 28 points. He and Yandel, the only two defensemen to lead their teams in scoring. Keith Yandel of Phoenix. And Weber works it up ice, and that's an offside.
Well, again, the key to a good power play or penalty kill is obviously a clean face-off win, and David Backes has been strong in that area in this game.
And Hitch was concerned about the face-offs tonight. They've been dead even tonight, but Nashville has 9 players that are listed as centers on their roster, so they have a lot of depth in that position.
Yeah, they sure do, and they're strong on the dots. Like every team, you work on it every day. You see the centermen and even wingers that know that they could be in that position. They work on it with assistant coaches. Ray Bennett works with the Blues religiously after every practice.
The Blues have the exact same coaching staff as a year ago, except Sean Farrell has joined the Blues as their video coach.
Yeah, we welcome Sean into the program.
Very nice young man.
Great kid, sharp at what he's doing, picking up fast.
And 50 seconds gone in Berglund's minor. Again, the Predators last year, 17% on the power play. They know they need a goal here, down by 2. As Bork snaps it around the end board. Bouwmeester there. He is met by Hornquist. Seth Jones winds and fires it. Halak got a piece of that and just it up.
Oh, you're right.
That was a rocket.
Good shot.
And now it comes back to Jones again. And a pass down low. Here is Legwand turning to the front for Bork. And then Ekholm comes in, backhander, and that goes wide. And Legwand again. Jones takes it, walks the line, now to Legwand in front. Bork hands it back on this 1-3-1 setup by Nashville. Pass in front, and a shot off the arm, I believe, of Halak. Kept in, Jones again, lets it go. Glove save by Halak. He found that one. And some pushing. Pollock's there.
Well, the power play has gone through. Young Seth Jones, who turned 19 today. And he's done an excellent job at that right point. That one got through, but Yaroslav Halak, who's had issues with gloves and catching pucks in the past, has really worked at it. And his focus was entirely on it. Our Plaza Tire Service Exmo there shows the traffic in front. Big glove saved by Halak. Hornquist in front, and the play gets nullified. And there is young Seth Jones. He's all he's done so far is win. He's won USA World Junior, U18 World Junior, finalist in the Memorial Cup, won a Western Hockey League championship with Portland. Special kid.
Yeah, he was really good. I was in Saskatoon at the World Junior, or I should say the Memorial Cup, and he was very, very poised.
And they lost barely in the final with our own Ty Ratty as their marksman, who had an outstanding Memorial Cup.
Yes, he did.
With Portland, by the way, Nashville did have 3 shots in that power play, but now 0 for 4 with 4 minutes left here in the third period. And the Blues up by 2. Now Shattenkirk deals one to center ice. Now Backus. Great wide feed for Tarasenko. Cuts to the middle. He's got a heavy shot. He lets it go, and that was blocked. And now Tarasenko again. For Roy, back to Tarasenko. On the backhand to Leopold. And then the Blues get it back, and here's Roy. Long shot, tipped on the way through by Steen. He took a stick up high, a penalty coming up here. And Steen is hurt.
Oh, cut him on the lower lip.
And
that's going to be a double minor.
Yeah, at least 2. You would think 4. We're back after this.
Well, for David Backus and the Blues, and our Ford game summary right there, 4-2. Fisher, Legwand, Backus, Pietrangelo with points there. Here's the injury to Steen. The stick comes up by Bartley. He's trying to lift his stick. He doesn't, and he just clips him underneath. And Bernie, you had a good look at him. He's cut pretty bad, but he's still on the ice as Bartley sits in the box.
Yeah, he's really not cut real bad, but he's going to need stitches. A couple of stitches kind of just below the lip, right in the middle of his chin. So he said to Ray, right here, Ray Barilli, no, you know what? Put a Band-Aid on, I'm going out. So good for him.
He's a hockey player.
Absolutely.
Blues are 2 for 2 tonight. And the Predators will be short-handed for the rest of the game, unless, of course, the Blues score a couple of goals. As Tarasenko gets free. And that is blocked by Gostad.
This is where you can't relax. So this is really a 2-goal game right now, and you get a chance to finish the game off. So hey, Hitch is over here yelling on the bench. Get going. Come on, boys.
Now Stewart back for Shattenkirk. Out high with Steen. And then Stewart again for Tarasenko. Tarasenko makes a pass. That was blocked. And here come the Predators. 3-on-2 break, short-handed. Drop pass to Klein, a shot, and that was blocked. And the Blues have numbers back the other way. Tarasenko in with Roy. And late on a shift, he snaps it back of the goal. As the Blues make some changes here with 3 to go in the third period. Now Cullen comes in for Nashville. And then Pietrangelo, crafty play back of the goal away from Bourque.
Yes, smart play, passing to the boards to himself, and Bourque went the other way.
As Oshie guns it off the end boards. That comes around to Berglund. Now Bouwmeester, his pass blocked. And Weber shoots it high and down the ice. And a lead pass to David Backus, who had the first goal tonight. Drop pass, Oshie right in front. And Bouwmeester had moved in and had a good chance and a save by Hutton.
Well, good save there on Bouwmeester, but it gives us a chance now for our BMO Harris bank check replay. Alex Steen with the blast through traffic and in the net. Shot from the point. Again, traffic in front. Goaltender has a hard time with that. All about face-off wins as well. 2 power play goals, 2 face-off wins, and shots from the point.
And now Steen has gone to the Blues locker room for repairs. 1:43 to go. Blues win another face-off. Leopold and a one-timer and a save by Carter Hutton, who has done a heck of a job, Darren, coming in relief on opening night with only 1 NHL game on his resume and has allowed only 1 goal.
And it was the end of the season last year as a Chicago Blackhawk. So you are right. I've really liked his battle and compete level here. Watched him working out this morning and practicing. He never gave up on a puck, and those kind of work habits and desperation have really done him well here in this one here. He's played well. You're right.
Missouri Lottery Blues Live is coming up next here on Fox Sports Midwest. As Sabotka sets up on the half boards. Schwartz, Savardi and Spinorama back of the goal. Then it comes around the other side. Now for Shattenkirk. To the front, and that was read well by the Predators, and Gostad will sling it down the ice. As we approach the 1-minute mark in the third period here on opening night. What a day in St. Louis. The Cards win, and now the Blues about to win their opener. Schwartz to Roy. Blues still in the power play. And now Nystrom trying to get the puck to center ice. Weber's pass blocked. Blues come back in. That would have been a breakaway, but Stewart couldn't control the hard pass. And now Josi to center ice. Here's Nystrom behind the Blues defense. And Halak is forced to make a big save as Nystrom got behind Bolmeister.
That's a real good save by Halak, tighten it up. He's been rock solid in this game. That's a good way to start the regular season.
And Tarasenko up and no call. Bolmeister plays it back to the goal in the final 15 seconds. And the sellout crowd at Scottrade, they're on their feet. Tipped by Roy down the ice. And that's going to do it. A season opening 4-2 victory by the St. Louis Blues.
Good way to start it. Backus scored to make it a 1-0 game early on. 2:05 into it. The place is jumping. The rally out front, the energy in the building. And then Sobotka made it 2-0 with a brilliant goal at 5:43. A few areas, lapses along the way, but give Nashville credit. They never went away. And behind it all, Jaro Halak had an outstanding opening game.
And TJ Oshie with the third goal gets the game winner. As Halak and the Blues salute the crowd on opening night.
All smiles, Pietrangelo and Stewart, always communicating. Now we'll take a look now at our Bud Light player of the game. Why wouldn't we? Alexander Steen has a goal and a helper, 4 shots on goal, gets cut in the mouth, stays out there for it, and the Blues get a victory. But it's his workmanlike effort every single shift that the other players feed off of every single night.
Blues outshot tonight 30-28. But the Blues win it 4-2. Let's go to Tom Calhoun downstairs.
The game's third star with 2 assists and playing on defense for the Blues, number 27, Alex Pietrangelo. The game's second star with 1 goal and 1 assist, playing in a forward for the Blues, number 20, Alexander Steen. And the game's first star with 1 goal and 1 assist, playing at center ice for the Blues, the captain, number 42, David Backus.
First of all, congratulations, David. The first start of the game. But you know what? You can't win 82 if you don't win the first one.
I don't know if that's realistic, but we put a pretty good game in tonight. We got a lot of things we got to improve on. It's one step on the way to hopefully a great season. We got to learn from some things, but we did a lot of things great.
And for you, you're supposed to be a slow starter. A goal and assist tonight must be nice.
Well, puck just found me tonight. Those are good feelings, and hopefully that continues. But however we're going to win games, we're happy doing it.
I know some of the things you talked about before the game was special teams. Tonight, you guys 2 for 4 in the power play. They were 0 for 4. Really, the difference in the game was the power play tonight.
That seems to be the key in the beginning of the season. It's a 4-2 game tonight, so we'll take it. Again, we got some stuff to work on. It's one step, and we'll keep on moving on. We got another one on Saturday.
Congratulations. Many more wins.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Bernie.
Scotty, back upstairs to you.
All right, Bernie, thanks so much, and congratulations to the Blues captain, David Backus, as you see, making his way into the Blues locker room. He gets the Blues' first goal, also gets an assist, and he leads the note to the 4-2 win on opening night here at the Scottrade Center. Vladdy Sobotka, Alexander Steen, and TJ Oshie also scoring for the note in this 4-2 win. Stick around. We've got a lot more coming up. Blues win their opener 4-2 tonight here in downtown St. Louis.